murder probe investigation, and now gangsters Atiq Ahmad will be presented before the CJM court. Police will seek his remand today. The Enforcement Directorate on Wednesday seized rupees 75 lakh cash and documents related to 200 bank accounts and about 50 shell companies after conducting fresh searches in Uttar Pradesh as part of an ongoing money laundering probe against gangster-turned-politician Atiq Ahmad and those who are linked to him. Now, raids were conducted early morning on 15 premises in Prayagraj, with Uttar Pradesh police teams providing armed security cover to the ED officials. So, CNN News 18's UP Bureau Chief Pranshu Mishra is joining us. Pranshu, can you give us more details about these raids that were conducted by the ED on Atiq Ahmad and his aides?
Well, see, today's day is important in the sense that finally, after a long wait, Atiq Ahmad has been officially shown as arrested as far as the Umesh Pal murder case is concerned. And as you rightly said, that today the UP police would be moving in the CJM Prayagraj court to seek a police custody remand. We'll have to see that whether Atiq makes a physical appearance there or he is produced through video conferencing via the nanny jail. Now, the second part of the investigation, of course, is that, try to break down the financial clout of Atiq Ahmad gang, and that's the reason why multiple raids were conducted across Prayagraj and also in some pockets of Western Uttar Pradesh against alleged financiers and the support members of Atiq Ahmad gang, and in which ED has recovered substantial amount of cash and also certain documents. In fact, this investigation has also led to the parts of NCR in Delhi, and there was recently this report which was later on confirmed that Asad Ahmad, son of Atiq, has also taken shelter probably at a house of a close confidant in Delhi, and therefore it seems that despite Atiq Ahmad being behind the bars for almost 6 years now, his financial clout, the presence of his gang on the ground still remains quite strong, and therefore the challenge for the UP police is, one, to of course ensure justice and maximum punishment to the accused, including Atiq Ahmad, as far as the Umesh Pal murder case is concerned. So on one hand, the further progress is being made on that front, with Atiq Ahmad being produced before the CGM court today. And the second portion, of course, remains as far as dismantling the clout of Atiq Ahmad gang is concerned. And in that context, the ongoing ED raids and the sort of bulldozer action which we have been seeing in Uttar Pradesh, that becomes very important.
Right, Pranshu. We also have Ashish Mehrishi joining us. Ashish, so ED has seized 75 lakh cash and documents related to 200 bank accounts from Atiq Ahmad and his aides on Wednesday. So what can be expected next? Ashish, can you hear me? All right, we'll try to re-establish that connection. Pranshu, coming back to you. So after the seizure of this cash and the details about 50 shell companies and documents related to 200 bank accounts, what can be expected next?
Well, ED has already gotten, and ED is, of course, has taken up this case. So what we are expecting is that gradually, one by one, the all agencies, the state agencies, the central agencies, including the ED, will actually try to bring down this entire empire of Atiq Ahmad brick by brick. That is what is happening. In first phase, ED has conducted raids. On the basis of these raids, the inputs which have been obtained, the bank account details which have been obtained, will automatically lead to people who are close associates or confidants of Atiq Ahmad. And remember, someone like Atiq Ahmad, who has also been a politician, member of parliament, clearly will be having a very strong support base of white-collared people who, may not be having actual cases against them, but clearly would be siphoning of money or laundering the ill-gotten wealth of Atiq Ahmad. And therefore, in order to break down the backbone of Atiq Ahmad gang, to say in the political parlance what Yogi said, that mitti mein mila denge. So if actually, his gang is to be bitten to dust, you need to break down his financial clout. And I think ED has now started taking the initial steps towards that larger motive of breaking down the mafia's back. And the seizures and the exposes which have been obtained by ED yesterday in the raids will clearly lead to more raids in the future, more arresting, seizures of accounts, seizures of property in days to come. So clearly days would be of larger concern as far as those people are concerned who are white-collared people, but clearly using Atiq Ahmad's money to further strengthen their interests.
Right, Pranshu. We now have Ashish Mehrishi, who tracks the ED, joining us. Ashish, so the ED's crackdown on Atiq Ahmad and his aides has resulted in seizure of 75 lakh cash and documents related to 200 bank accounts and about 50 shell companies. So what action can we expect from the ED next?
So, most of these documents that have been seized till, yesterday in the raids, what have been found is basically that there are certain shell companies through which the money was getting routed or laundered. One. Two, the other important portion is that there are certain properties that have been found. There are, in fact, a few hundred property documents that have been found. And my sources in the Enforcement Directorate tell me that, these documents are basically Benami properties, because there are people who are of no means. They are like drivers or rickshaw pullers. They basically are holding those properties, and those properties are worth a few lakhs or a few crore rupees. So people who are of no means are basically holding those properties, and that is why a few documents we have been able to access as well. So these are basically Benami properties, and as Pranshu was already saying that, basically the idea of the government is that the government basically wants to break down the financial backbone of Atiq Ahmad, and that is why if you see most of these accounts will in days to come will be attached. The cash that has been found will be attached. The documents related to properties, it is going to be further investigated, and if found to be Benami, then it can be attached under both the acts, Benami Property Act as well as the Prevention of Money Laundering Act. So certainly big time action happening. We already seen that he has been behind the bars since this government came into power. It has been, in fact, more than 6 years till now that, Atiq Ahmad is behind the bars. But ultimately, the entire action that we see is that the effort of the government is that, dons like Atiq Ahmad, they remain behind bars, and their financial clout and financial backbone is broken down.
All right, Ashish and Pranshu.